here! Stop that!
Stop! Enough!
Get out! Get out of my store right now! That's what she screamed at me. Monica, my own store manager, was shoving me toward the door while a crowd of customers laughed and recorded on their phones. One woman called me a gold digger. Another said I looked like a beggar. Security was coming for me. My back hit the wall. And then the private elevator opened. My husband stepped out, and I watched their faces turn from mockery to absolute terror. Let me tell you exactly how it happened. Before I take you into that store, into that moment where everything exploded, I need you to do something for me. Subscribe to this channel right now, because what I'm about to tell you isn't just my story. It's a lesson about respect, about cruelty, and about the mask people wear when they think you're beneath them. If you've ever been judged, ever been dismissed, ever been made to feel small, drop a comment below. You're not alone. Now, let me take you back to that morning. It was our 5th wedding anniversary. 5 years since Jack and I stood at that altar and promised forever. 5 years of building a life, a business, a love that felt unshakable. I woke up that morning with one simple thought. I wanted to surprise him. Not with something extravagant or showy, just something meaningful. A watch. The platinum collection we'd just received at Royal Elegance, my luxury store in the heart of the city. Here's the thing about owning a high-end boutique. You rarely get to see how your staff truly behaves when you're not around. I'd heard whispers, small complaints from a few customers that were quickly smoothed over. Nothing concrete. But something felt off. So that morning, I made a decision. I would go to my own store, dressed simply like any other customer. I wanted to see the truth. I pulled on a simple white dress. Nothing designer, nothing that screamed wealth. I grabbed a small purse, wore minimal jewelry, and looked at myself in the mirror. I looked like me, just me, not the owner, not the CEO's wife, just Layla. And honestly, I felt lighter. I thought it would be fun. I thought maybe I'd see my staff being kind to everyone, not just the people dripping in diamonds. I was so naive. When I walked through those glass doors of Royal Elegance, the first thing I noticed was the temperature change, not the actual air conditioning, but the atmosphere. Cold, instant. 2 sales associates, Jennifer and Ashley, were standing near the entrance. Their smiles, which were probably plastered on for the wealthy woman in designer clothes they'd just been helping, vanished the moment they saw me. Jennifer's eyes traveled from my face down to my shoes and back up again. It took maybe 3 seconds. 3 seconds for her to decide I didn't belong. Ashley whispered something and they both smirked. I felt it, that first sting, but I pushed it down. I smiled and walked toward the anniversary gift section where we displayed luxury watches, cufflinks, leather goods, items that cost more than most people's monthly rent. Behind me, I heard voices, loud enough for me to hear, meant for me to hear. Who let her in here? That was Mrs. Vanderbilt, a regular customer, wearing a purple silk dress that probably cost $15,000. Another voice, Mrs. Chen, in an orange designer gown. She's probably lost. Looking for the department store down the street. Laughter. Quiet. Cruel. The kind that wraps around your throat. I kept walking. I reached the display case with the watches, and that's when Jennifer appeared beside me like a wall. "Excuse me," she said, her voice dripping with fake politeness. "Those are very expensive." I looked at her. Really looked at her. She was young, maybe 25. Pretty. But her eyes were hard. I smiled. "I'd like to see the Platinum Collection, please." Her eyebrows shot up. "The Platinum Collection." She repeated it like I'd just asked for the moon. Ashley walked over, and I could see the amusement dancing in her expression. "Sweetie," she said, and I hated that word instantly. "Maybe you should check the sale section. Or, maybe try another store altogether, somewhere more suitable." A man in an expensive suit, Mr. Bradford, was standing nearby. He actually laughed out loud. "Good one, Ashley." That's when Mrs. Vanderbilt came closer, her phone already out. "She's probably one of those gold diggers. You know the type. They come into stores like this hunting for rich men." Mrs. Chen was recording now. Actually recording. "This is hilarious," she said to her phone. "You won't believe what's happening at Royal Elegance right now." More customers gathered. It was becoming a show. I was the entertainment, and I felt something shift inside me, from embarrassment to anger. But I controlled it. I kept my voice steady. "I just want to purchase a watch," I said clearly. "Please show me the collection." Jennifer crossed her arms. "We don't have anything in your budget range." The crowd laughed. Someone in the back yelled, "Call security! She looks suspicious!" That's when everything accelerated. Jennifer pulled out her phone and called the manager, and I knew exactly who was coming. Monica, my store manager, the woman I'd hired 2 years ago, the woman I'd trusted to run my business with integrity. I heard her heels before I saw her, sharp clicks against the marble floor. Then she appeared, cutting through the crowd like she owned the place. Cream-colored suit, hair pulled back tight, and an expression of pure arrogance. "What's the problem here?" Monica demanded. Jennifer jumped in immediately. "This woman is harassing us, demanding to see expensive items she clearly can't afford." Monica looked at me. Her eyes swept over my simple dress, my worn shoes, my plain purse, and I saw it. The disgust, the dismissal, the cruelty. "Who let you in here?" she asked, her voice sharp. "Who gave you permission to enter this store?" I opened my mouth. "If you'll just let me explain." "I don't have time," she cut me off, "for explanations from people like you." People like me. The words hung in the air. The crowd was bigger now. At least 20 people, all watching, all waiting. I tried again. "Please, I just need to—" Monica stepped closer, invading my space. "This store is for elite clientele, not for whatever you are." Mrs. Vanderbilt chimed in from behind her. "She's probably casing the place, planning to rob it later." Mr. Bradford nodded enthusiastically. "Check her bag. She might have already stolen something." And then Monica did something I never expected. She grabbed for my purse, actually grabbed it. I held on, pulling back. "You have no right," I started, and Monica shoved me, hard. I stumbled backward, my hip hitting the edge of a display counter. Pain shot through my side. The crowd gasped, but it wasn't a gasp of horror. It was surprise, followed by more laughter. "Get out!" Monica screamed at me. "Get out before I have you arrested for trespassing." I steadied myself, my hands shaking now. "Please," I said, my voice cracking despite myself. "Just listen to me. I am—" She shoved me again. Harder this time. I fell back against the wall, the breath knocked out of me. "Security!" Monica yelled. "Remove this woman now!" 2 security guards started moving toward me. Mrs. Chen had her phone up high, getting the perfect angle. Mrs. Vanderbilt was smiling. "Probably homeless," she said to no one in particular. Someone else shouted, "Gold digger looking for her next victim." They were forming a semicircle around me now, blocking any exit. Monica pointed at the door. "You are banned from ever returning. Do you understand me?" I felt tears prickling my eyes, but I refused to let them fall. "Not here. Not for these people. You don't understand who I—" I tried one more time. Monica slapped my hand away from her arm. "I don't care who you think you are." Jennifer appeared with a broom. An actual broom. She started sweeping toward me, pushing dust and debris in my direction. "Sweeping out the trash," she announced, and the crowd roared with laughter. I was backing toward the door now. The security guards were almost on me. My heart was pounding. This was my store. Mine. And I was being thrown out of it like garbage. The guards reached for my arms. And then I heard it. The sound that changed everything. Ding. The private elevator at the back of the store. The owner's elevator. The one only Jack and I had access to. Everyone froze. That elevator was rarely used during business hours. Customers weren't even supposed to know it existed. The doors slid open slowly, and out stepped my husband. Jack. Tall, powerful, dressed in an expensive gray suit. He'd been in the back office all morning, reviewing quarterly reports. I hadn't even known he was here. His face was confused at first, taking in the crowd, the commotion. And then his eyes found me, backed against the wall, tears threatening to spill, a guard's hand inches from my shoulder. I watched his expression change, confusion to recognition to absolute fury. "What is going on here?" His voice boomed through the store like thunder. Everyone jumped. Monica spun around, and her face immediately shifted into something sweet and sickly. "Mr. Jack," she gushed. "Perfect timing, sir. We're just removing an intruder who's been causing problems." Jack walked forward. Each step was deliberate, measured, terrifying. He didn't look at Monica. He didn't look at the crowd. His eyes were locked on mine. He reached me, and his voice dropped to something soft, concerned. "Madam, are you all right?" That word. Madam. It echoed through the silence. I saw Mrs. Vanderbilt smile falter, saw Mr. Bradford take a small step back. Monica tried to continue. "Sir, it's completely handled. She was bothering our valuable customers, making demands." Jack still didn't look at her. He gently touched my arm, his eyes searching my face. "Did someone hurt you?" My voice came out broken. "I just wanted to buy you an anniversary gift." Silence. Complete, suffocating silence. Mrs. Chen's phone was still recording, but her hand was shaking now. Monica's voice had a tremor in it. "Anniversary? Sir? Who is this woman?" Jack finally turned. His face was stone. His voice was dangerously quiet. "This woman?" he repeated. "This is Layla Huntington, the owner of this entire store." Someone gasped. I think it was Ashley. "She is my wife." I watched it happen. The color draining from Monica's face, Mrs. Vanderbilt's phone slipping in her hand, Mr. Bradford backing into a display, Jennifer dropping the broom with a clatter that seemed deafening. Jack wasn't done. "And you shoved her?" His voice was rising now. "You humiliated her? In her own store?" Monica was stammering, her words tumbling over each other. I didn't know, she didn't say, she wasn't dressed." "She tried," Jack said, his voice cutting like a blade. "She tried to tell you. You didn't listen." I wiped my eyes. The tears were gone now, replaced by something else. Clarity, strength. I stepped forward, away from the wall. "Jack," I said quietly, "please, let me handle this." He looked at me, his jaw tight, but he nodded and stepped slightly back. I walked to the center of the room. Every single person was staring at me now. The woman they'd mocked. The woman they'd called a gold digger, a beggar, trash. "I came here today," I said, my voice steady and clear, "wearing simple clothes because I wanted to see something, and I saw it." I looked directly at Monica. "You've been my manager for 2 years? I trusted you to represent this store, to represent me, to treat every person who walks through that door with dignity?" Monica opened her mouth. "Mrs. Huntington, please, I'm so sorry." "You're not sorry you did it," I interrupted. "You're sorry you got caught." I turned to Jennifer and Ashley. "You mocked a customer based on her appearance. You decided in 3 seconds that I wasn't worth your time or your respect." Then to the security guards, "You were about to physically remove someone without asking a single question." And finally to the customers, Mrs. Vanderbilt, Mrs. Chen, Mr. Bradford. "And you didn't just watch, you participated, you recorded, you laughed, you fed on another person's humiliation like it was entertainment." Mrs. Vanderbilt tried to speak. "We didn't know." "You didn't care to know," I said. "That's the problem." Jack pulled out his phone, tapping the screen a few times. "Darling, while you were being tortured down here, I was reviewing something interesting upstairs." He turned the screen so everyone could see. Security footage from the past 6 months. Monica's face went from red to white. "Monica," Jack continued, his voice cold, "you've been running a little side business, haven't you?" On the screen, clear as day, footage showed Monica stealing commissions from other employees, overcharging elderly customers and pocketing the difference, giving unauthorized discounts to her wealthy friends, using company funds, hiding damaged inventory to file false insurance claims. Monica started crying, real tears now. "Please, I can explain. I needed the money. I was going to pay it back." You had 6 months to be honest, I said. You chose cruelty instead. I took a breath. Monica, you're fired. Effective immediately. Security will escort you out, and I'm pressing charges for theft and fraud. You can't, she screamed. I have rights. I'll sue you. Jack stepped forward. You have the right to leave quietly or be dragged out in handcuffs. The police are already on their way. Choose wisely. 2 security guards, different ones who looked ashamed of their earlier actions, took Monica by the arms. She was screaming, crying, begging as they pulled her toward the door. I turned to Jennifer and Ashley. You're both fired as well. Leave now. They started pleading, crying, promising to change. Leave, I repeated. Now. They grabbed their things and ran. Then I faced the customers, the ones who had enjoyed my pain so much. Mrs. Vanderbilt, Mrs. Chen, Mr. Bradford. They were trying to edge toward the exit. Not so fast, I said. They froze. You recorded this. You laughed. You called me a gold digger, a beggar, a thief. You suggested I was homeless, that I was casing the store to rob it. Mrs. Chen was frantically trying to delete the video from her phone. Too late, Jack said. We have our own cameras, multiple angles, crystal clear footage. I continued. You're all banned from this store, permanently. Your VIP memberships are revoked. Mrs. Vanderbilt's mouth fell open. You can't. I spend millions here every year. I'm one of your best customers. You were, I corrected. Past tense. You're done. And I'm personally calling every luxury boutique in this city. Your behavior today will be reported. Mr. Bradford tried to laugh it off. Mrs. Huntington, surely we can work this out. I was just joking around. Jokes are funny, I said. Cruelty isn't. Leave. All of you. Now. Security escorted them out. Mrs. Vanderbilt was protesting loudly. Mrs. Chen was still trying to save her video. Mr. Bradford was on his phone, probably calling his lawyer. The store was almost empty now. Just a handful of employees remained, the ones who had stayed silent during my humiliation. They looked terrified. I addressed them directly. To those of you who felt uncomfortable but said nothing, I understand fear. I understand not wanting to lose your job, but silence in the face of cruelty makes you complicit. They were all looking at the floor. You have one chance, I continued. Learn from this. Speak up next time. Protect the vulnerable. Or find another place to work. Slow nods. Ashamed faces. A young woman stepped forward. Sophie, a junior associate. Her voice was shaking. Mrs. Huntington, I wanted to help. I even went to the back to try to find Mr. Jack. But I was scared of Monica. She threatened to fire anyone who questioned her. I looked at Sophie. Really looked at her. I'd seen her before, always kind to every customer, always working hard. Thank you for your honesty, I said. And thank you for trying. You're promoted. You're the new floor manager. Sophie's eyes filled with tears. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. I promise I know you will, I said gently. That evening, after the police had taken statements, after the lawyers had been called, after the last employee had left, Jack and I stood alone in the quiet store. I finally walked over to the platinum watch collection. The reason I'd come in the first place. I selected a beautiful timepiece with intricate detailing, engraved on the back with coordinates, the place where we'd first met. Jack came up behind me, wrapping his arms around my waist. I'm sorry you had to go through that. I leaned back against him. Don't be. I learned something valuable today about my business, about people, and I cleaned house. You're incredible, he whispered. You know that? I turned in his arms. We're incredible. Together. He kissed me softly, and for a moment, the pain of the day faded. Happy anniversary, I said, handing him the watch. He smiled. Happy anniversary, boss. So that's my story. I owned everything they saw that day, but they judged me by a simple white dress and plain shoes. Monica is currently facing criminal charges for theft and fraud. Those customers? Their names have been circulated to every high-end establishment in the city, their persona non grata, blacklisted. And my store? It's thriving more than ever, with staff who finally understand that respect isn't about price tags or designer labels. It's about humanity. If this story moved you, if it made you angry or gave you chills, smash that like button right now. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it, someone who's been made to feel less than. Comment below and tell me, have you ever been underestimated? Have you ever been judged before someone knew your story? I read every single comment. And please, subscribe to this channel. Every week I share real stories about justice, dignity, and standing tall when the world tries to knock you down. Remember this: never let anyone dim your light based on their limited vision. You are not what you wear. You are not your bank account. You are your character, your kindness, your strength. I'm Layla, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay powerful.